Supreme Skill. Today, we're in search of the ultimate blade. What would happen if a blade with ultimate cutting ability could be developed? Our food would taste dramatically better. Productivity in our factories would surge as we could cut many materials at once. Ultra-sharp scalpels would leave thinner scars. But there's one thing that's always been considered impossible to cut with a blade. That's right, iron. A blade that instantly slices through iron. A dream blade like that would revolutionize manufacturing. One craftsman has accepted this seemingly impossible challenge. We call him the Fire Master. A top blade manufacturer has too. Let's watch the drama unfold as these men put their professional pride on the line. Whoa! Supreme Skill.
Welcome to Supreme Skill.
Today we introduce two teams who have pursued their vocations to the extreme. One a company, the other a craftsman. They'll compete to show their skill while demonstrating the depth and power of Japanese manufacturing and technology. And here's their playing field.
A guillotine. The blades made by the two teams will be dropped from a height of 1.5 meters onto an iron pipe and the cuts compared. The height and weight are kept constant to ensure fairness. The pipe measures 2.2 centimeters in diameter with a wall thickness of 1.2 millimeters. The first challenge is cutting the pipe. If both teams succeed, the one that keeps the cut ends closest to round wins. To start off, we'll drop an ordinary kitchen knife and see what happens. The pipe only got bent.
It's seriously chipped.
The blade shattered. That iron pipe is tough.
The blades must be made within 1 month and can't be longer than 25 centimeters or thicker than 1 centimeter. But there are no restrictions on material or shape. Let's see how they do.
Blade manufacturer Fukuda Hamono was founded in 1896. They're fielding a real power team. The company specializes in products for cutting paper. It has the top share of the Japanese market, selling blades that can cut tens of thousands of magazines without getting dull. Their blades are also famous for their precision, which is why they're used to cut paper currency. The company accepted the iron pipe challenge because they believe it might lead to new products. For their material, they chose the same steel they use in their industrial blades. In part 1, we saw them manufacture a finely honed blade and test it on the pipe using an experimental guillotine they built themselves.
Here we go.
All right. Oh, no good. The blade broke. They'd made the blade just a millimeter thick to bite into the pipe, but that made it too brittle. Still, it did pierce a small hole. Meanwhile, the master knife craftsman Yasuaki Taira was also at work. In part 1, he demonstrated superb traditional forging techniques that produced a hard yet flexible blade. He took on the iron pipe challenge because he thought it might help him develop even sharper knives. He comes up with the same basic design as his power team opponents, a sharp protrusion meant to pierce the pipe. The result?
Please. Cut it. Excellent.
Yasuaki Taira succeeds in cutting the pipe. Meanwhile, the power team adopts a new approach. They fundamentally rethink their grinding method. Their goal is to achieve an even sharper edge. Usually, the blade protrudes slightly during grinding so that the grindstone doesn't damage the pedestal. However, that means that the grindstone exerts pressure that slightly deforms the blade's edge. The power team decides to place a specially made metal bar between the blade and the pedestal when grinding. By grinding both the blade and the bar, the edge of the blade can be ground without deformation. This special technique, called tomoken in Japanese, results in a sharper blade. Ground along with the blade, the metal bar keeps the blade edge straight. A microscopic view shows the difference between a conventional and a tomoken blade. The top one is slightly bent. The bottom one maintains a clean, straight line all the way to the edge. The blade is sharpened to a tolerance of 1/1000th of a millimeter. Supreme skill. They try it out. How will it do?
Ready? Here we go. Oh, I think it worked.
The power team has cut the pipe.
Finally, we did it.
Sending out sparks, the blade pierced the pipe and finally cut through. Of course, Keisuke and his team are still not satisfied.
We've achieved about 10% of our goal. At least we managed to cut the pipe. But we're professionals. We have to do better. Get to it.
Both teams have shown the supreme skill needed to cut the pipe. Their next challenge is finding a way to maintain the pipe's roundness. As the blade cuts through, it exerts pressure that deforms the pipe. Can they overcome this problem? All of the employees at Fukuda Hamono are invited to submit ideas.
We've got lots of ideas. We'll try as many as we can.
Throughout its long history, Fukuda Hamono has developed about 48,000 different kinds of blades. The difficult challenge of the iron pipe has ignited their fighting spirit. They get right to work. This is the first blade they try. It's a thin 3mm blade with a small point designed to open a hole in the pipe before cutting. It's the brainchild of Kazuya Shimomura of the manufacturing division.
Ready, set, go! Well, it's great in its own way.
Although it cut through, it also flattened the pipe. Yoshitaka Ueda is in product development. His idea was to make the blade as thin as possible, but with reinforcement down the middle. He hopes that the thinness will minimize the resistance on the pipe.
Go!
The pipe isn't cut all the way through, and
Ah, too thin.
the thin blade is broken.
What's next?
The Keisuke Special.
Team leader Keisuke Fukuda is the production manager. He's confident that his blade will do the trick.
All set.
Show them what you've got, Keisuke.
Let's do it.
But
That's too bad.
Didn't cut it.
too bad for the Keisuke Special. The team tries about 30 different designs, but not one of them keeps the cut ends round.
We were too optimistic. Not enough progress. We're in trouble.